As summer crept closer, my friends and I were excited for long sunny days and lazy afternoons. That was when Bella decided to throw one of her famous parties. This time, a costume party with a twist. Everyone who was invited had to pull a slip of paper from a basket, and whatever was written there determined your costume. One by one, people drew their slips, laughing, smiling, some groaning. When it was my turn, I reached in, unfolded the paper, and froze. A bride. Bella grinned mischievously. She explained she had paired up the costumes, Superman with Lois Lane, Prince with Cinderella, etc. When she got to bride, I stood up. So far, I was the only boy who would be dressed as a girl. Then she read groom, and Ryan stood up. Ryan towered over me by 8 inches and outweighed me by at least 40 pounds. Standing next to him as a bride, I looked like a full-on girl. There was teasing, of course, especially when Ryan casually draped his arm over my shoulder like he was already claiming me. When I got home, I told my mother Diane what I had drawn. She giggled at first, then became surprisingly serious. I still have my old wedding dress, she said, but it's outdated, and I wouldn't ask you to wear it. Your Aunt Susan works in women's wear at the department store. Maybe she can help. She called Aunt Susan, explained everything, and soon we were scheduled to go in the morning. I thought nothing of it. It's just a wig and a dress, I told myself. I had no idea how wrong I was. The next morning, my mom and I met Aunt Susan. She didn't waste time. She marched us straight to the bridal section. And that's where I met her Helga, a mountain of a woman. Towering, broad-shouldered. Her salt and pepper hair pulled back so tight it looked like she'd used the bun to pull her face into place. She was like Irma the Iron in a dress. Her voice? Pure gravel. So, you want to be a bride, she said, eyeing me like a drill sergeant checking a uniform. Before I could answer, she pointed to a small room. Undress? I looked helplessly at my mom. She just nodded. Helga left briefly, and Diane came in with a robe and unexpectedly a pair of panties. She turned around while I put them on, then wrapped a corset around me and helped tighten it until breathing became optional. Then came the nylon footies they give women trying on shoes. When I stepped onto the fitting platform, Helga measured my waist, bust, and hips like she was sizing livestock. Size 10, she announced. Let me grab a dress. After a long 10 minutes, she returned with a bag containing a returned bridal gown. They slipped it over my head and zipped it up. I was instantly swallowed in a sea of white satin and lace. The neckline dipped low, my arms were bare, and the skirt flared out dramatically. Aunt Susan slid white heels onto my feet. I could stand. Walking was another matter. Helga and Aunt Susan discussed everything from removing my leg hair to hairstyling and makeup. Helga even brought Diane a set of padded items for a bigger bust and proper hips. Things were spiraling out of control. After we returned home, Diane brought me to my room. This party is only 5 days away, she said, and you need practice walking, sitting, and moving in a dress and heels. So you'll spend the week as a girl. What? Why? Because being a bride is a big moment in any girl's life. You will respect that. Arguing with Diane is like arguing with a wall. The wall wins. She applied hair removal cream to my entire body, waited, then had me shower it off. I stepped out smooth, hairless, and mortified. She handed me a bra, pantyhose, a short dress, and heels. Once everything was on, I looked in the mirror. I didn't just look like a girl. I looked like a cute girl. Then she did my makeup, styled my hair, and made it official. We need a name for the girl in the mirror, she announced. I refused to help. So her name will be Lena. Just like that. I was Lena for the week. While I was adjusting to the horror of my situation, Diane called me by my new name. I hurried downstairs in heels, which is not recommended, and froze. Bella stood there, her jaw dropped. I came to tell you that you don't have to be the bride if you don't want to. Then her eyes traveled from my hair to my heels. But, Lena, wow. Before I could respond, Diane suddenly gasped and checked the instruction sheet for the breast forms she had attached earlier. Oh no. What do you mean, oh no? These forms, once applied, they cannot be safely removed for at least 10 days. 10 days. Bella blinked. So, he has to be Lena for 10 whole days. Diane nodded. Bella slowly smiled. Bella asked whether I had enough clothes for 10 days. Diane said Aunt Susan had loaned a few things, but Bella insisted I needed more. I loudly disagreed. Diane didn't care. She got her purse and handed me a black handbag stuffed with essentials. Before I knew it, Bella took my hand and led me to the car like she was my older sister dragging me into trouble. We walked into the laundry department again, and I tried to hide behind a rack of panties. While you're back there, Lena, Diane called, pick out some cotton panties, loudly, in public. I grabbed a pack of plain white ones just to get it over with. Bella and Diane returned with a bra and marched me toward more clothing, skirts, blouses, shoes. By the time we were done, I had to skirts, to tops, and to pairs of shoes, and sweaty palms. Back home, Diane insisted on teaching me how to put on a bra properly since I would be wearing one for days. When I was finally dressed, green wrap skirt, white top, black heels, pantyhose, even I had to admit I looked like a teenage girl. Aunt Susan later stopped by to say she booked my salon appointment for Saturday. Plenty of time to get Lena looking perfect. Great. That evening, as I set the table for dinner, the doorbell rang. Ryan walked in. He saw me, and his smile widened. Bella said you were gorgeous, but she undersold it. Lena, you look amazing. What are you doing here? To see my bride, obviously. My stomach flipped. Diane beamed. She clearly liked him. Ryan suggested we go out to dinner to bond before the party. Before I could protest, Diane agreed on my behalf. I wanted to scream. Diane handed me lipstick and told me to touch up. Once again, I failed to escape. I followed Ryan out to his car, keeping a safe distance. But based on the way he looked at me, I wasn't sure how safe I really was.